Hello, my name is Ася, nice to meet you, and welcome back to my channel if you already know me. It is officially the coziest season of the year, and of course, I'm going to use it to create cozy sketchbook spread because what can be better than nice and relaxing sketchbook session after a hard day at work, college, school, you name it. For this spread, I decided to choose all the things I love to paint and just enjoy myself. I'm not doing any challenges, not trying to leave my comfort zone. It is quite the opposite this time. I will enjoy my comfort zone as much as I can. I opened my Pinterest, picked all the reference pictures I liked, and combined them on these two pages. I didn't film how I sketched it because I find this part of painting a bit boring, but let me know if you would like to see sketching part. So I decided to start with the girl. It is my first time using gouache after a long break. If you didn't watch my previous videos, I discovered oil paints and fell in love. It was love from the first brush stroke, so I kinda abandoned gouache, but I still love it. It is the best medium for the sketchbook, so I decided to go back to my good old friend and use it again. As always, I use MIYA gouache. I love it for nice and bright colors, for the big palette, and it lasts forever. Here you can see I already painted girl's face and moved on the dress. It doesn't mean the face is finished, but I'm letting the paint on the face to dry a little bit so I can keep working on it. If you use watercolor paper, mine is 300 GSM by the way, you know it allows you to work with water for a long time, but there's always the chance to overwork the paper. So in order to avoid it, let your paper dry and move to the next piece. I specifically chose all reference pictures in one color palette. It has a lot of brown, orange and green tones. Because I want to celebrate my favorite season of the year. I even made pumpkin spice coffee. I know you can't see it, but it's right next to me. Fall became a special season to me recently. First, I got married in October, then we moved back to our house in fall, and I can finally start drinking hot coffee again. I can't do it in summer, and I miss it a lot. I also made some cozy plans for the fall. I want to watch the movie Norseman. I started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and now I'm obsessed with all the Viking related stuff. I also try to introduce myself to some classical books and most of the time I end up liking it. So my goal is to read or listen, probably listen, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Ooh, this one will take a long time. And maybe, just maybe, Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. I say maybe because I've heard this book makes people cry, and I'm not super huge fan of the stories that make me cry. I also want to learn a little bit of art history, especially about Impressionists. I know it briefly, but I want to learn more about them. This is a quick list of my cozy plans for this fall. Doesn't sound much, but I'm trying to combine good time and learning. I also wait for Black Friday. I was saving money for the good camera. I film my videos on the cell phone, and if I'm honest, it's not too bad, but I have serious issues with focus and I want to improve the quality of my videos. I make YouTube videos for almost a year and I gave myself this year to test if I really like doing it or I will make 5 videos and realize it's not what I want to do. Well, congratulations me, I passed this test and deserve nice camera. So yeah, hopefully I will improve the quality of my videos and it will motivate me to create even more. Alright, let's go back to the sketchbook. I have finished the girl and I still need to add candle to her and I will add more details with pencils later, but right now I'm painting dry flowers hanging from top of my sketchbook page. In order to keep the colors somewhat similar, I used colors I already premixed for the girl's dress to paint my flowers. I'm going to use the same technique for this whole spread. This way, all the elements will look good together and also will save you a lot of time on choosing colors. On the bottom of the page, I decided to put a painting of flowers. Since I needed to be in a rectangular shape, I used a tape to protect the page from leaking. It is a close-up photo of tiny white flowers, and the landscape on the background is blurred because the focus is on the flowers. So I use a lot of water here and paint the background in watercolor style. Basically, I let water decide how my paint will spread on the page and allow it to create unique brush strokes. Because I used a lot of water here, I need to take some time and let it dry really well before I can paint flowers. So I moved to a sleeping bear. For the bear, I used square brush and same round colors I used for previous paintings. Happy and Sleeping Bear is a very good addition to my cozy sketchbook spread. I had to make sure his face looks happy because the whole point of this spread is to spark joy and good vibes. But before I paint his face, you guessed it right, we will give our cozy boy some time to dry and we go back to the flower field. This is where meditating process starts. I took the tiniest brush I have and started painting stems for my flowers. No rules here. The easiest way to paint those stems is to paint main stem first, make it long and thick, and then paint smaller stems growing to the right and left from the main stem, like you're painting a tree. The more little stems you add, the smaller they should be. And then take a round brush with a lot of white paint on it and paint dots all over the stems. Make sure they're all different size. It will make them look more natural. I also used some brown and light brown for the flowers to make it look like some flowers are already dry but some are still in bloom. It also gives more depth to the painting, which I really like. It is the first spread in the sketchbook that I used to do something like this. Usually, I'm not super creative when it comes to sketchbooks. I prefer to use one page for one painting, and for a long time, I thought it is not cool, not trendy maybe, I don't know. I see how artists on the internet combine simple shapes and elements into something beautiful on their sketchbook pages, and it makes me jealous. Why can't I do something like this? Why my sketchbook is not an explosion of cutesy tiny elements and text and stickers and so on? And the most important, why am I so unhappy and uncomfortable when I try to do something similar? The answer was simple. It is not me, and denying it will not make me happy and definitely won't help me to improve my art. I can still enjoy crazy sketchbook spreads made by others and still walk my own art way, not follow them. With all that being said, why am I painting something that I don't really like? Well, I wanted to paint cute fall little paintings, but not spend 4 days and 10 sketchbook pages on them. Another reason is I needed to go back to my sketchbook routine, and you know how hard it is to do. You don't know where to start. Should it be landscape or portrait or still life? Why not everything? I killed 4 birds with one stone here. Painted portrait, landscape, animal, still life, kinda, and every piece only took 20 minutes. My painting mood is back. I'm confident again, and I know I didn't forget how to paint with gouache. Even though this kind of spreads are rare for me, and I prefer to put all my attention and effort in one big piece, it was a good change in my routine and I'm glad I did it. As you can see, I finished the bear. He looks pretty happy. One more landscape and 3 pumpkins left. I framed the landscape with the tape again and did underpainting similar to what I did for the flowers. While it is drying, I decided to start painting pumpkins. Unfortunately, the tape is in my way, so I painted what I could for now. Switching back to the landscape, I absolutely love the combination of yellow, red, and green. Nothing screams fall as those 3 colors together. I think this landscape is my favorite piece on this spread. Wait, no, it is bare. Can't decide. I'm finishing the landscape by adding the fence to it, and it is time to peel off the tape. Now I just need to finish pumpkins. Nothing special here. If you can paint a sphere, you can paint pumpkins. Basically, it is a circular object. One side of it is darker, the other side is lighter. I didn't add any shadows underneath my pumpkins because I want them to look like they're floating in the air. I like how they look next to the landscape on the right, so bright and juicy. It makes me want to bake pumpkin pie. We're getting closer to the end. Final step in every gouache painting I do is adding nice details with colored pencils. I use Prismacolor pencils. Most of the time I use dark colored pencils to add a little bit of contrast here and there, maybe some bright spots like blush on the girl or light from the candle, anything you wanted to add with gouache but couldn't do it neat enough. I also want to add borders to my landscape. For this purpose, I will use ruler because there is no chance I can do it just by myself. While I'm doing it, I realize there is a lot of empty space that I can potentially fill with cute little elements like leaves, sparkles, dots, etc. So I took my brush and quickly painted them. No sketch needed here. The more rustic they look, the better. And that's it for today, my friends. Thank you for spending this cozy evening with me. I wish you the best fall, the tastiest coffee, the warmest sweaters. Don't forget to stay positive and creative. And I will see you in my next videos. Bye!